He's probably shaking.
Oh.
No, let me do a Michael Jackson. Can I start? Hi, welcome to Monday Night Movie Club. Today we're gonna be talking about Shazam. I'm Vivek.
I'm Aiden.
I'm Mace.
I'm Jared.
I'm Evan.
And I'm Xander.
Alright, so the main plot of the film for this movie is that 2 or 3 goddesses have come back for the staff, the electrical staff in Shazam was cracked in half, and they come back to take it, to use the power of it for something to plant a seed of life in their own realm, since the mortals of the mortal realm destroyed their realm because they had a war. So they're going to try to plant it, but one of the really bad goddesses, the sister of chaos, wants to plant the seed in the mortal realm, so the mortal realm will be destroyed just for rivalry, and it will be sad.
Keep in mind that these are small G goddesses, not big G goddesses.
So the second question that we have is, what scene stood out to you, and what made it stand out to you? For me, 2 scenes that stood out to me was one, the Shazam, but Freddy, I think his name was.
Mr. Everypower.
Yeah, which is also Mr. Everypower. The girl he likes turns out to be a bad goddess, but she likes him back, so she doesn't really want to be too evil against him. So, and it was just surprising when we found out that she was a goddess. And another one that was pretty crazy is when the sister of chaos, she stabbed one of the other sisters because she just went against the sister of chaos to try to stop what she's doing. So she planted the tree, and there's a bunch of vines that went out all through the city, and there's a bunch of eggs, and a bunch of crazy monsters came out of the eggs. It was cool, and they were crazy. Start killing everyone.
A scene that stood out to me was when there were the unicorns, because instead of being friendly, like how kids think of them, they were terrifying, and all the other creatures were scared of them. And they were tameable, and that's what the family of the original Shazam guy, they had Skittles, and then they, I guess, tamed the unicorns to kill all of the bad creatures.
I'll go next. The scene that stood out to me was when Shazam was like fighting the dragon, and Shazam said like Shazam, and then he turned to like his normal self, and he sacrificed himself to save everyone else. So I think that scene stood out to me a lot because it taught sacrifice.
I'd say that. Sorry, I thought this was my mic. We're sponsored. Oh. I think that the scene that stood out to me the most was, well, not exactly a scene, more. Oh, yep, I'd say it was a scene. I think the scene that stood out to me the most was where Freddy stood up for Anthea, also known as Anne, like the aforementioned bad goddess. And he was able to stand up to the bullies who had obviously been beating on him for a very, very long time. And I just admired that he would stand up for someone being picked on at his own expense, which is really what being a hero is all about.
A scene that stood out to me is when Shazam turned himself back into Billy, like when he died or whatever. He died as Billy, but when they brought him back, he came back as Shazam, which I thought was kind of weird.
Remember that lightning struck the grave where Shazam was buried?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
So then, like, that would have triggered the Shazam turning on thingy.
Turn your phone on silent.
Now. And yeah.
Our third question that just came in: do you think this movie was trying to convey any message to the audience? If so, what do you think the message was? I think probably the biggest message, since that it's a Shazam family, that the message would probably be family. And they were always just helping each other out, so it was just really cool to see how Shazam himself couldn't do it himself, probably. So he got a family with him to help him.
You can't Shazam by yourself. Like, I mean, or you'll end up like Black Adam, and we all saw how that turned out. So the difference between, I'd say that a question just came in, which is, what is the difference between Shazam and Black Adam? And I would say that, well, first, Black Adam is a lot darker, like in his costume as well as in his behavior, because he kills people. Like, I mean, he catches a rocket. Wait, no, he catches a grenade. He also catches a rocket, but like he catches a grenade and he throws it back at the guy who threw it at him. And so then that kills the other man. So I'd say that he's a lot more brutal. And yeah, but Black Adam was also set in a third world country, which is a bit rougher around the edges. But like we saw that heroes can be in all places, in all shapes and sizes. Of course, Atom Smasher.
I think a message is you should always help people and do the right thing, even if it doesn't help you. Like how Billy, he turned himself from Shazam to Billy to kill the goddess and save Earth.
Well, I think the message was that, like, since, like, that family isn't, like, being a true family isn't all about just, like, blood and, like, what you are, like, biologically. Because, like, in the story, Shazam, Freddy, and, like, the other kids, they're all living in a group home. They're all they're not, like, related biologically, and they were still like a close family, and they still took care of each other, and they always stuck together. So that shows that, like, you don't always have to be like it's not always about blood. It's just how much you care about your family.
All right. The fourth message that we have on the page is, did any major common themes such as sibling rivalry, sacrifice, redemption, forgiveness, etc. appear in this movie? How so? I think one common theme was betrayal, because at the end of the movie it was very surprising, because you could see it throughout the movie of how the Sister of Chaos was always just wanting to try to, like, go back against the humans, thinking that as in the humans would want to keep feeling that feeling against them. She just wanted to destroy the realm the whole time when she could have just been peaceful, because the humans don't really know, unless if you're like Greek, or think that there is goddesses and stuff, so it doesn't really like add up. But it was just betraying like her own sister, killing her, and betraying like her other sister by trying to go against her, by just her trying to just say like something with free speech.
I think there was like definitely some sibling rivalries, because especially like in the start of the movie and during the movie, you have the one dude who was Captain Every Power. He would try to go out by himself, and not have the help of his siblings.
While listening to Sabotage, of course.
Yep.
I think a theme is sacrifice because of what Billy did, and also redemption because one of the sisters, I forget her name, the oldest, she had this force field that was around the city that they were in. Forget the city, but there was a force field, and then she made it small enough just to cover the tree of life, which is what was creating all of the monsters, and then that is what, yeah.
Anyone else want to say anything about that question? No? Well, we have our fifth question. Were there any elements in this film that reminded you of any stories or messages from the Bible or religion? Explain. I think one that I found when I was watching the movie just struck me since I knew that the question would come up. But I think that since one message, that the message is family, Noah, when God told Noah to build the ark since the flood was coming, he used his family to build it with him, which made it a lot faster, saying in the Bible that still even an estimated 120 years it took to build, but I'm guessing without the family it would have taken him an extra 400 or so years if he lived that long. So it's just showing how important family and friends can be with helping each other out, because you just need the extra help with a lot of things.
I would say that the story of Solomon also ties into here with, of course, the wisdom of Solomon, but also that Solomon does stuff a few things up, but he always tries to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, just like Billy or Shazam.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any other elements from the Bible? Anyone got anything? No? All right. I didn't have anything for this question because I didn't really think too deep about this one, but number 6 is write about anything else that caught your attention in the film that you want to discuss. Anything else in the film?
At the end, when Shazam was fighting the goddess of chaos, his suit went completely black, which reminded me of Black Adam. I thought that was kind of interesting that they did that.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Got anything? So...
Well, we had a question that came in from our youth pastor, actually, and he was wondering if they're going to set up Black Adam versus Shazam.
I mean, a lot of... Wait, did you have something to say?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Well, it's DC anyway.
Tell me more.
Well,
Wait,
it's
no, sorry, you already have one. Go ahead.
It's DC, and, well, usually when there's a universe connected, they usually put in a lot of the main characters connected, and since Shazam is kind of related to Black Adam, they have the whole lightning bolt in their chest and everything that they'll probably show up together, or team up together, or have a fight together, or go together, or something together.
Although I would say that they're more gearing up for a fight between Superman and Black Adam. What I'm thinking, which would tie into Mace's idea, is that Black Adam fights Superman, and so
Superman wins.
the Shazams, I think that's right,
Yeah.
they would help Black Adam defeat Superman, which would probably get the Justice League very, very angry with the Shazams. So, yeah.
Oh, I have something to say. If I'm correct, I don't think that the Shazams and Black Adam can defeat Superman without the use of kryptonite, and I don't think they know what that is.
I think that actually the Shazam, or just the main Shazam, is going to be working with Superman, since one of the end clips was two people were going to Shazam to recruit him for the Justice Society.
Not
And
the Justice League.
if you pay attention to the names that they used as to who sent them, and the name of the lady who sent Superman, they're the same person. So I think they were getting Shazam so that they could have Superman and Shazam fight him, because Shazam would have more knowledge as to the power.
Keep in mind that the Justice Society is the society consisting of Hawkman, Cyclone, and the late Dr. Fate. And for a brief time... Oh, wait, no. Hawkman, Cyclone, the late Dr. Fate, and Atom Smasher. And they teamed up with and against Black Adam in Black Adam. So that would be the Justice Society maybe fighting with or against Black Adam. And if the Justice Society were to contain Shazam, we might see some interesting things.
I think for Shazam and Superman versus Black Adam, it wouldn't really matter because Superman is
Superman.
easily capable of defeating Black Adam. Because I don't think Black Adam knows what kryptonite is or where to get it.
But then again, his friend, like the little kid, his entire world was based around the superheroes. So really, if he wanted to protect Black Adam more than he wanted to protect Superman, then he would tell Black Adam that that's Superman's weakness. And then Black Adam would have the upper hand, considering the fact that nobody knows Black Adam's weakness because they didn't really announce it to everybody or really explain it. Because in Black Adam, you see that he was actually wounded and affected by
Eternium.
yeah, which
Yeah.
would be his version of kryptonite. But nobody knows that other than Black Adam.
How would a kid know that How would a kid know that kryptonite would kill Superman?
Well, because his entire thing was based off of superheroes. Like, when it showed his room, he had posters, he had action figures, he knew everything about them. And Superman's weakness became very well known in the DC universe.
Yeah, that does make sense. What's our next question, Mace?
All right. All right, Vivek wants to say something. Just hold on.
So something that stood out to me that I'd like to talk about was the second post-credit scene, I think it was, where there was a guy in jail and he's talking. I don't know. Does anyone know what that was all about?
Okay, so I was super bothered by the fact that I didn't know what that was about, so I did a little research. Okay, so there was...
Can I explain the
Post-credit
scene?
scene.
All right, I'm going to explain it. So there's this guy in a jail cell, and he was the guy in the first Shazam movie. So Shazam, I think that's his name. But so he is the guy that Shazam defeated and put into prison. And then there's this caterpillar guy, and he was stuck like in a caterpillar, I'm pretty sure. And so he planned, I think he's going to get the guy who was put in prison by Shazam out of prison, and then he's probably gonna be part of something, but I don't know.
How does one get stuck in a caterpillar? That just seems like it
So-
would be some sort of, I don't know, like you would have to want to get stuck in a caterpillar to get stuck in a caterpillar.
Nobody was actually stuck in the caterpillar.
Oh.
So I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember his name, like the caterpillar's name. But actually, he's a worm. And he comes from, in what I found, he came from the planet Mars, which had an entire colony of super genius worms who had the abilities of telekinesis and being able to read people's minds, and mind control. And the legend is that they once controlled the Earth in the Ice Age, but they were somehow kicked out and back to their home planet of Mars. So now they're planning to come back. And that worm that they showed in the end clip is the main one that does it.
High Grand Wizard of Wormdom, or whatever.
Basically, yeah.
By the
Maybe
way,
they got kicked out because the worms and the humans just stepped on them.
Well, yeah, but they're super powerful, super genius worms.
by the way, the jail that he was stuck in, was it the Phantom Realm?
The Phantom Zone.
The Phantom Zone?
I think it's the Zone because
it's the
like it's in
Zone.
the Batman movie and they call it a zone. So
Yeah, I
No,
think it is.
wouldn't it be a realm though? Because it's like a realm that not even gods can exit.
the Phantom Dimension because I like Minecraft and there's all sorts of different dimensions.
Another.
I think it was just a regular old prison on Earth. Because he was a regular old guy once they took out his Eye of Demons.
Yeah.
All right,
Um,
now we have
A new
the
question that just.
scale. Mace, let me speak. Now we have another question. What would you rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10?
Like you just made it up.
On the scale of 1 to 10, I would probably rate this movie like a 6 or a 7 because because I've seen lots of DC movies that are probably better, but it was not like the worst DC movie ever.
I would probably give it like a 7 because they definitely could have made the movie longer. They could have like drawn out the plot just a bit more and made it so like you can dive in a bit more about each of the characters.
If they drew it out, then it would be like Black Adam. You didn't see Black Adam? No, you didn't. Oh, Black Adam was so long. Like there were at least 3 parts where they could have just stopped it and made a completely new movie. But no, it just went on and on and on. They ran out of popcorn, but
Scale 1 to 10 for me on my part, I think it'd probably be a 6, because it's not the most insane, but it's over 50%. Because it's okay, but that's just what I gotta say.
yeah, I'd go with like what May said, with like a 6 or a 7.
I give
No.
it a 7.7 because I guess I like Shazam. It's okay, but I think Superman is better. The movie with a Zog. I don't know which movie that is though.
I'd give it a 9 because it's better than what Marvel's been doing recently, and it was a pretty good DC movie from ones that I've seen.
All right, I would recommend this to DC, DC lovers because it's a DC movie, and yeah.
I'd say I'd recommend it for all, but I think it's also kind of even a good movie for like older families. I'm not saying like grandparents, but like all the kids who are like 10 or older or so, because it's not the most like gory, but it's also kind of like fun in a way. How there's comedy and like yeah, you just know, but yeah, I think it's just a good fun movie for families, and they could watch it and laugh and have a good movie night together with popcorn and stuff.
I would say that it would be a movie that a Christian family would need to look at, like after they watched it, and look at the method, like not the method, the messages and stuff like that together.
Another thing is like definitely a good one to see with your grandparents because grandparents like to buy you things, so they might buy you lots of popcorn, or like for every movie. See it with your grandparents so you can get popcorn.
Okay, thank you for joining us for this. This is the last podcast episode until there's going to be more signed up and stuff. But this is the last podcast episode for this season, I'm going to say. But thank you for joining us from the Monday Night Movie Club, and we will be seeing you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Au revoir.